All right. All right. Now I'm unmuted. Now I'm unmuted. How you guys doing? Everybody good? You guys doing good? Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. So excited. You know something good is about to happen when all the power in your house went off 7 minutes ago. Like I'm in my home studio, guys, if we can close that door over there. And 7 minutes ago, all power went off. And today we are in for a treat. A freaking amazing treat. 3 days, power-packed 3 days that are about to change the game for you. And something was getting in the way of trying to make that happen. So whatever you want to say, I believe it's a spiritual force that was trying to get in the way from you receiving what you're about to receive over the course of these next 3 days. And so I'm excited. I got all my black card folks backstage with me. Got several Zoom rooms opened with all of my black card experience folks. How are you guys doing? Let me know where you're. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. Backstage. Tell us where you're chiming in from. I'm excited to have you guys here. Let me know where you're chiming in from because you guys are in for a powerful, powerful treat. Online, tell me where you're coming in for. And listen, I want to know, why are you here? Why are you here? The most precious thing that you can give me is your time. And I can tell you that the few hours that you give me this week, these you will look back and say, those were a few of the most powerful hours that I got served with something that's going to help me in a profound, profound way. And I can assure you of that. And I can promise you that. And I can tell you I'm going to over deliver. And today at the end, when I show you a video from a person on a stage 3 days ago and the impact that stage made on their movement, every single person will be committed to stages like they've never been. And this is a 1 minute video that at the end today is going to serve you guys so powerfully. So why are you here? Where are you calling and chiming in from? And why are you here? Why are you here? I want to know that. I want to know that. I want to know that. And so I'm excited. Facebook, I'm excited. YouTube, I'm excited. Everybody, I'm excited to have you guys here. I'm going to dive in. I want to get on more stages. I want to start speaking again. I want to get, because I've been uncomfortable. To be here the best I can be in delivering my message of goodness, peace, and love. I love that. Hey, by the way, backstage, turn your cameras on. Turn your cameras on. I want to see your faces. My rules of thumb is if you're naked or driving, you don't have to turn your cameras on. But everybody else has to turn their cameras on. My team, turn your cameras on. Everybody, turn your cameras on. I want to be able to see you. So I'm going to dive right in because I'm telling you the next 3 days, and by the way, I'm going to give you the lowdown. The next 3 days are going to be game changing. In 2019, I got on one of the biggest stages of my life. It was the 10X Growth Con stage. I was the only non-famous person on that stage. And that day in 2019, in front of 30,000 people in Miami Marlins Stadium, my movement went to a whole nother level. I saw over 1,000 customers come into my world that day, and I saw multiple 7 figures in business come out of one stage. One stage can change the game for you. One stage changed the game for me. You know why I'm so excited in that picture? I'm so excited in that picture because that was a lot of hard work. And so here's the big commitment to people who are present. Lots of people give you iPads and all of these gifts that don't matter. Like you don't even use them. They don't help your movement. They don't help your business. All of these like, oh, I'm going to give you the latest technology thing, like entice you with that. How about I entice you with this? How many of you would love to be on the Growth Con stage in 2023? How many think that would change your business? I see every hand up backstage. I hope every hand up's on Facebook, on YouTube. This is streaming everywhere. We've got thousands of people, thousands and thousands of people that are watching this today live. David Carnell said, I want to be on that stage. So instead of all these little trinkets and these little gifts that say, oh, let me give you an iPad away. No, I want to do something that's going to move the needle for your business. And so you're going to learn today how you have the opportunity to be one of those people on that stage. On that stage. And so some of you are like, yep, that's going to be me. So Andrew Blackwood, Julie Gibbon, Jerry Meeks, Andrew Oxley, Patricia LeBanc, what I want you to do right now is I want you to write these times down in your calendar. Today, why stages, why now, and what stages exist. That's today. Tomorrow, I'm going to help you find dream stages. I'll give a quick recap of today, and tomorrow I'm going to help you find dream stages. Today, I'm going to let you know what stages exist. Tomorrow, I'm going to help you find stages. And on Thursday, I'm going to help you win stages. How many people are committed to winning one stage this week with me? One stage. Write the word one stage. One stage can change the game for you. It will become a domino effect of a bunch of stages. This week, my intention is for everybody, Amber, Ross, Brian, Richard, Dr. Denise, it's my intention for everybody to win one stage. But you have to be here. And then on Saturday, guys, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. I know that's easy, but I want to give you your days back. I'm going to bring it all together in 1 hour, and we're going to celebrate all of the stages that were won on Saturday. I know you didn't see that as part of the training block. Hey, black card, all my black card folks, you get that extra day too. So make sure that you're with us because we'll bring the entire thing together on Saturday. And then the final piece that I want you to know, and we haven't done this in close to 2 years. We're bringing on Monday, this next Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, am actually going to bring you 6 to 10 people who control thousands of stages. They're not only going to help you understand what it takes to win their stage, they're called meeting planners. They're called meeting planners. They're not only going to help you understand what it takes to win their stage, they're going to be giving stages away on Monday. And the only people who qualify are the people that are a part of this Stages Are Back challenge. Write these in your calendar, concrete. The value you will get from these will be out of this world. Andrew Oxley, be present, man. Turn off your inboxes, turn off your phones, because if one stage can change the game for you, that's what this whole week is all about. Now, anybody that's followed me, you're like, Pete talks about getting clarity, and he talks about signature talk, and he talks about your products and services. Yes, that's what I normally talk about, but this week I'm talking about stages. And oh, by the way, every day we have a special guest with us every single day that will be with us. So this is it. This is the format. Who's excited? Who's excited? Come on now. Let me see that energy. Let me see that energy. So the only day that's different, and we should have just kept it all the same, but I told the team I wanted to do it early in the morning so you could have your afternoon. The only day that's different is Saturday. That's just going to be a recap and a celebration. Like, we will recap the whole week and celebrate. That's what we're going to do. So what has our impact been? Since 2018, our students have been on 350,000 stages. They've impacted 72 million people, and they've generated $500 million of revenues in 3 years, since 2018. Those are everyday people like you and me. I call them best kept secrets. You're a best kept secret. You're a best kept secret. But I want you to see, look, Gary Brecka talked about how his close ratio went from 18 to 43%, 1,800 new customers in 1 hour. Man, I'll take 180 new customers an hour. Shakir, I'll take 8 new customers in 1 hour. 1,800. What I've learned from Pete is how to communicate in a way where it's easy for people that I can help to say yes. And because of what we've learned from Pete, I probably sold $25 to $30 million from stages. I love what Stormy said. I knew from Pete's track record and what he's created that he could take me to where I couldn't take myself. These few days this week, I'm going to take you to places that you can't take yourself. You can't take yourself. And I love what my friend Dean Graziosi says. He said, Pete is the authority on stages. This week, you're getting about a full day of my time. A full day of my time. Like, all in all, black cards, you get more of my time. And tomorrow, team, I want the screenshot to prove this, because it's, Grant says people, you can tell me, but show me. So team, if you can pull this up in our back system, I want them to see that just this summer, 3 people, just this summer, because all I told my team, I said, I'll take 3 one-on-one clients this summer, 3. And those 3 one-on-one clients invested, how much do you think they invested for a day of time with me? 1 day of time. Write it in the chat. What do you think they invested for 1 day of time? Amber says 50K. First person to get it is going to win something today. And guess what? Andrew got it. $100,000. I don't know who the first one is, but it's $100,000. And what I'm giving to you guys, and black card, you get more, is a day of my time over the course of the next week. Just jamming on one thing, which is stages. So I'm excited. Grant said, after I heard Pete talk about this, I realized that I've left hundreds of millions of dollars on the table. So here is to getting that, making sure that's not the case for you. We are committed to putting our folks on 1 million stages, impacting 1 billion people. Impacting 1 billion people. So let's dive in today. Why stages? Why stages? And here's the reason for stages. Stages are the #1 customer acquisition channel in your business, period. Period. Or they can be. You see, there's a lot of people that are telling you to do all these things. Hey, let's do funnels. Let's do our own events. Let's do a challenge. Let's do phone calls. Let's do a podcast. The problem is these are all types of roads, and roads without traffic are useless. You've been told a pipe dream that if you build these things, customers will come, and that is not true. This is not the field of dreams. How many people have seen the field of dreams? Mark Reese, you've seen the field of dreams? What's the main statement from the field of dreams? If you build it, they will come. Well, let me tell you what's not true. If you build these things, they will not come, because all they are is roads without traffic. I'm not saying those things are bad, but what I'm telling you is you actually need traffic. And the problem with most traffic, here's some of the most powerful traffic sources: paid media, content creation, search engine optimization, email marketing, affiliate marketing. I do all of these. But the issue with them in getting new customers is they take lots of time or they take lots of money. Lots of time, lots of money. They do. That's the reality. I don't care what anybody tells you. If anybody tells you you can go spend $10 on Facebook a day and have a high probability of winning, it is not true. It is not true. Anybody want to take a guess at how much we spent just to get you here? Anybody want to take that guess? When it's all said and done, probably close to 6 figures. So these things take lots of time and lots of money, which is why a lot of business owners don't win, because they don't have the money and they don't have a lot of time. But I'm going to tell you what I believe is the most powerful customer acquisition channel that is both the road and the traffic all in one. It's called other people's stages. If you've heard me talk, and you're going to hear me talk differently today about this than you've ever heard me, you know that I believe OPS, and I'm coming up with this new today, team, and I want my team to make note of this. OPS, other people's stages, actually doesn't just equal other people's money. It also equals OPT, other people's time. Other people's time. So now all of a sudden, you have a strategy that can be the road and the traffic without your money and without your time. Why stages? Why stages? Grant Cardone, in 4 years with GrowthCon, he spent 20 million, 9 million, 6 million, and 8 million. He spent $43 million of his money to put the best business conference in the world on 4 years in a row. Anybody got $43 million to spend? Anybody got $6 million to spend right now to put on an event? Yeah, not me, not yet. I didn't when I was getting started. But what else did he have? He had hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds, and Jess, this is supposed to be hundreds of millions of dollars of even getting to the point where he could fill it. Office space, employees, the printers, the computers, the benefits, the salaries, the commissions, the ad spend, the search engine optimization, the building of an email list, all of the other stuff he had spent was hundreds of millions of dollars. So do you see the OPM in this? Can everybody see the OPM in this? His money. But it's also his time, Donacia. It's also his time. It's not my time. So what happens when I get to be on that stage? Guess who the only speaker all 4 years of that was? Guess who that was? That sexy Mexican right there. That sexy Mexican, the only speaker all 4 years. And guess how much money I spent? Guess how much time I invested? A couple hours. So not only did I not spend money, I didn't spend much time. How many customers did I generate? Thousands. How much revenues did I create? 8 figures. And how much impact did I have? Countless. Countless. Do you see? Can everybody see the power of OPSs? Do you see the power of OPSs? Because if you don't see it, you better leave because you're in the wrong spot. But this is the power of OPSs. Here's what OPSs do to you. It gets you attention. Grant said the most important thing is attention. It gets you customers whose lives that you can impact. It gets you brand positioning, and it gets you premium pricing. That's what it gets you. It gets you that. And so this is what I want to say to you guys today. We're about to dive into 3 things. Knowing stages is all about today. I need you to know 4 things today for you. I'm about to help you know stages in a way. There are 4 core things that you need to know today. And I've never taught all 4 of these. They've been reserved really for our highest level clients. Tomorrow, I need you to understand how to go find these stages. And Thursday, I need you to understand how to win these stages. Each day, I'm focused on one component: know, find, win. Write that in the chat. Know, find, win. Know, find, win. Today is all about knowing. It's all about knowing. That's what today is all about. Now, the last thing that I want to say before I get into knowing, and listen, if you've heard my story, that's okay, because you're going to hear it differently today. I had a business degree. I was ready to go into the business world. My pastor called me from my small little, this is the church that I grew up going, that I gave my life to Christ. This is the church right here. My pastor called me and said, our youth group is falling apart. I need you to come in. It's gone from 80 kids to 24 kids. And something inside me moved me to go and actually be a part of that youth group. And my first Wednesday night, there were actually only 3 kids there. 3 kids. And I told those 3 girls, Stacy, Jory, and Mackenzie, I said, we're going to bring in speakers. We're going to bring in speakers who are going to talk about faith. They're going to talk about money. They're going to talk about relationships. They're going to talk about health. They're going to talk about what it looks like to be an entrepreneur. I brought in all of these speakers, not just people that talked about their faith, but people that helped them broaden their minds. I brought in CEOs. I brought in financial advisors. I brought in health and wellness experts. And every time I brought in a speaker on a stage, my youth group grew. Write this down. Every time you step foot on a stage, your business will grow. Every time you step foot on a stage, your business will grow. So I brought them in, and I brought all these speakers in, and our youth group grew from 3 kids to 800 kids in 4 short years. It was the largest youth group per capita in the United States of America, and this is the Hereford brand highlighting it. They said, we can't believe it. This small little West Texas town just built a $1 million youth facility where the kids were responsible for the down payment of that building. How did my kids understand how to give? They understood how to give because of the financial advisor that I brought in, Carrie Glidewell. She came and spoke to my kids and talked about the power of not just making money, but making your money matter. And my kids took that seriously, and they came up with the down payment because someone like you was there to speak on that stage. I'm telling you, I have never played the 1-minute video that I'm going to play at the end of today, and it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind away of what one stage can do for you. One stage. So this youth group grew. I actually officiated 2 out of their 3 weddings as well, because they were a key part of growing this. And out of that came my first client. Who was my first client? This man, Daryl Scott. Daryl Scott was my very first customer But before he was a customer, I brought him in as a speaker. His daughter was the first girl killed at Columbine back in 1999. She died that day in 1999, but her father found 6 journals and a paper that she wrote 1 month before she was killed called My Ethics, My Codes of Life. My ethics, my codes of life. The biggest homework assignment for every person here today is to go read Rachel Joy Scott's Ethics and her Codes of Life. I've never told the group to do that in that direct way. I want you to go read it. And Richard Taylor, Elena, Maria, Tony, Jorge, what I want you to go find is the thing that she fights for. She said, I have this theory that if one person can go out of their way to show compassion, that it'll start a chain reaction of the same. People will never know how far a little kindness can go. She fought for compassion. That's what she took a stand for. My question to you all today, and I would love to have all thousands of you answer this: what are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? I want to know that in the chat. Are you fighting to help people in their wealth, their health, their relationships? Like, what are you fighting for? Their businesses, their marriages? Like, what are you helping people changing their thinking? For small church pastors to not give up? I love that. To overcome the damage porn has done? Yes, let's do that. We need that. What are you fighting for? Maybe to help make somebody's home more beautiful? To help them understand how to invest? To teach them financial education? To help them understand how real estate can change the game for their family? To help them understand how to move from a scarcity mindset? To help them understand how to be healthy? To help them understand how to have a powerful family? To help them understand that there's a God that they love, that loves them? All of you fight for something, and most likely it's in the domain of wealth, health, or relationships. Rachel knew what she fought for. Why am I spending so much time here? Because when you know what you fight for, you become incongruent if you don't get that on stages, Brian McDonald. You are being incongruent if you don't get that on stages. Grant said stages changed his life because he knew what he was fighting for. People didn't know how to sell, so he taught them how to sell. People didn't understand how to invest, so he taught them how to invest. People didn't understand how to grow a business, so he taught them how to grow a business. Stages have changed the game for him, and they're going to change the game for you. And so this man came into my hometown. My dad heard him speak, and it was the thing that prompted my dad after 10 years earlier, my grandmother taking me away from my dad because of the abusive dad that he was. This was the person that heard my dad. My dad heard, and he said, I'm sorry for the father I've been. Here my son is having an impact on hundreds of kids' lives, and I can't have an impact on my only son's life. He asked me for a second chance, and for a second chance to do things right. And that was the day that my dad and I's relationship was completely changed because of one person on a stage. So what did I do? In 2003, I made him my first case study. Watch these numbers. In 2002, he did $150,000. In 2003, on his tax returns, you can see that he did $63,000. Is that going the right way or the wrong way? In the chat, right or wrong? Wrong way. And so what did I do? I told him, Daryl, you've got to take stages seriously. You've got to get in front of your ideal customers who want to hear what you have to say. And when you get in front of them, they will do business with you. And he said, Pete, I don't know how to do that. And I told him 20 years ago, and I bet you we are approaching close to 1 million stages in our career that we've put our students on, or our students have put themselves on. We're in the 20-year history, it's probably pretty close to that. But the first person that I put on stages was this man. And I said, I'm going to go figure it out. And I figured it out. And a few short years later, he was doing $6.5 million in annual revenues. And he went from impacting thousands of kids to impacting millions of kids, to seeing a teen suicide prevented every day and a school shooting prevented every month. Every month. So guys, you can have the income and you can have the impact, both. And stages allow you to do that. So that is why stages. Why do they make sense from an OPM and an OPT standpoint? And why they matter to me is because the impact that can be had. But why now? Why now? This is an urgent 3 days training. These trainings are urgent. The CEO of events.com, who has become a friend of mine, said, Pete, do you know that 2022 to 2024 will be the biggest years in the history of our world for stages, events, and speakers? Why? Because human connection is missing in our world. If you don't take stages seriously the next 3 years, you are leaving so much impact and so much income on the table. This is a guy who will exit for billions of dollars in his company, and he's got the data to prove that these next few years, these next 2.5 years, are the greatest opportunity. The next 3 years are the greatest opportunity for you. So I want you to be present for these next 3 days, because these 3 days will have an impact on 3 years of historical numbers, which if you just take a small, tiny, itsy bitsy piece of those, you can create whatever you want in this world. Who's committed to being here every flipping day without excuse? Say 3 days in the comments. Drop 3 days in the comments. Ona dropped 3 days. Elena dropped 3 days. Denise dropped 3 days. David Carnell, you here for 3 days? Let's go. My boy Ron's in the house, 3 days. Let's go. Marie's in the house. Let's go. 3 days. 3 days. 3 days for 3 years. 3 days for 3 years. And so what I'm going to do in the next 30 minutes is today is all about knowing stages. Tomorrow is all about finding stages. And Thursday is all about winning stages. And then on Saturday, I'm going to bring this whole thing together, and I'm going to celebrate every single person who wins a stage. Why did you give us Friday off? I gave you Friday off so you could win stages on Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday when we come together, we celebrate it. And then I'm going to give you a little secret. Monday, we're giving stages away. Monday, we're going to be giving stages away, but only for people who take action and do the work, who take action and do the work. So today, this is the only focus today for the next 30 minutes. I want to keep these at an hour because I know if I can keep these at 60 to 70 minutes, you will stay with me the whole week. And people are saying, I'm all in. I love it. One of the ways you start all in is you start all in like Eric and his, the lovely lady next to Eric. You start all by turning your cameras on. Facebook, engaging in the comments. YouTube, it's really easy to be passive. Be active. Be active. So let's get into knowing stages. So today, there are 4 things I want you to know. Write this down. There's 4 things I want you to know. 4 things I want you to know. I'm about to tell you those 4. So just know that there's 4 no's. The first no is you need to know who controls the stage. Who controls the stage? This is the first of 4 no's, not N-O, but K-N-O-W. Who controls the stage? Well, the person that controls the stage is what I call a meeting planner. A meeting planner. They're the ones whose podcast it is. They're the one whose live event it is. They're the one who controls it. They're the ones who, it's Grant Cardone for his world. It's me for my world. That's who controls the stage. It's a meeting planner. That's my definition. Is the meeting planner is anyone with direct or indirect influence of the stage. Who do you think influences this stage, that this week, this challenge? We have some speakers on here who aren't famous. Who directly has control of that this week? Write it in the chat. I do. And I would say Grant does as well. But who indirectly controls the stage? This is really, really important for you guys. Who indirectly controls the stage? You do? You do? Yeah, kinda. Not if I don't know you. My team, my wife, Elena, Jared. On Thursday, I'm going to show you the one tool that's going to win you more stages than you've ever won. And it's the tool that I used on Grant Cardone to win his stage with all famous people, and I was the only non-famous person. I'm going to show you that tool on Thursday of this week. That's the win day. That's the win day. But what I want you to know is I did not reach out to Grant. I went indirect. Write this down. The bigger the stage, the more indirect you go to the meeting planner. The smaller the stage, the more direct you go. With smaller stages or digital stages, you can go direct. Small stages, digital stages, you can go direct. But bigger physical stages, in-person stages, you want to go indirect. So the question is, how, by the way, on Monday, we're going to get inside the mind of meeting planners who control the stages. And these meeting planners control thousands of stages on Monday. It's a bonus training that we're going to do on Monday. After you guys have had the reps and had the training and our winning stages on Monday, that will conclude our whole thing. It's a bonus training that we're going to do on Monday that helps you understand how they control the stage. But this is what I want you to know. The first no is you've got to understand who controls the stage and why they hire you. And why. You need to know, your first no is the who and the why. They will hire you because you can solve a problem for their audience. Grant Cardone hired me because he had nobody that he had on his stages that were teaching people how to use stages to build their business. He knew I could solve a big problem for their audience. And guess what? You can solve a big problem for their audience. This is I've been on the phone with meeting planners for 10,000 hours in the last 20 years. You know what that makes me, Brian McDonald? A pro. You know what that makes me, Craig Harden? A pro. I'm a pro. And there's all of these other objections that you'll face, but if you can solve their problem, they will put you on their stage. They will put you on their stage. So Pete, how do I solve their problem? I'm not going to teach this week. I might have a little bit of bonus training on this on Thursday. I'm going to have a little 15-minute power bonus training on this on Thursday. But the way that you solve their problem is with one great talk. One great talk. Christina, I love your hair. Drop it in the comments. One great talk. Marie, drop it in the comments. One great talk. Good to know that Eric is with Lila or Lilia. I can't tell it. I might be saying it wrong. One great talk. One great talk. If they believe you have one great talk that's going to solve a problem for their audience, they hire you. They put you on their podcast. They put you on their physical stage. They put you on their local stage. They put you on their stage. The number one thing that you need to know, the first no that you need to know is who controls the stage and why are they going to hire you? Why are they going to hire you? Remember, Black Card folks, we're going backstage after this and you get access to me in a deeper, more meaningful way. And you cannot get Black Card. We're not like everybody else who's like, oh, it closes out the night before and then open. No, you're closed out. Like the people who are in Black Card are in Black Card. You get the experience of going deeper with this, but I'm giving everybody front stage enough in 1 hour. I'm calling these power hours. Power hour today, power hour tomorrow, power hour on Thursday, power hour on Saturday. Those are going to change the game for you. The second no, you've got to know. Everybody got the first no? The second no is you've got to know the types of stages that exist for you and decide which ones you want to be on. The second no, Mark, tell him you're going to call him back, Mark Ruiz. Hey, I'm calling you back, bro. I'm trying to win stages right now, and you ain't helping me on this phone call right now. See? Mark got off the phone. Give it up for Mark. Give it up for Mark. Like, I want you to know there's like a 3-minute gap that Mark might have missed something that's going to win him a stage this week. Did I say I'm committed to winning everybody a stage this week? That means I got to win like 7,000 stages. You see all those beautiful faces? Yeah, wave to yourself. Wave to yourself. I see you. You see your hands? I see you. I see you there and everywhere. So come back to me, guys. The second thing you got to know is the types of stages exist and which ones resonate for you. Which ones do you like? I don't need you to pick a bunch. I just need you to pick a couple. So let's talk about physical stages. Let me tell you all of the different types of physical stages that exist. And I want to tell you the pros and cons to these physical stages. So the number one stage that I believe everybody can be a part of is local stages. Local stages you can drive to and drive home. When I paint this, and I'm painting this green for you guys, there's a thing called associations. These are membership-based associations. Anything from construction to real estate to investing to couples to pastors to anything that anybody believes in or a profession or a niche, there's an association. For all of my folks international, I would want you to know there's 123,000 associations in America alone, and they have events one time a year, usually. And then there's state associations, millions of state associations, and they also meet one time a year. But then there's local. And there are millions upon millions of local, and most of them meet one time a month. One time a month. And they're looking for good speakers. They're looking for good speakers. Why do I love local stages and local meetups? Because you can drive there and drive back and never have to leave your home on an airplane. Why do I love there's free events and preview events going on all of the time? A lot of people will host free events. Well, I love free events because they're looking for great content providers. These could be local, these could be at the state level, they could be at the national. Grant just hosted a free event in Atlanta a few weeks ago. Why wouldn't you want to be one of the speakers on that free event? He had 1,200 people there. So there's free events happening. There's execution workshops. Workshops are powerful, and Grant and the team probably do 70 workshops a year, maybe more. And these are paid customers who spent $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to come to a workshop. And a lot of the times workshops will bring in subject matter experts. I love workshops because these are paying customers that have invested a lot of money. Why would you not be the speaker at the workshop? By the way, I don't get into this much detail on these. I'm asking you to identify 1 to 3 of these that resonate for you. You need to know the types of stages that exist and which ones you want to go after. That's what we're trying to establish in number 2. There's boot camps and seminars. Workshops usually focus on one key thing. Boot camps and seminars aren't as much. They're probably like $5,000, and they might focus on a lot of things, several things, not just one thing. And so a lot of people have boot camps and seminars. There's conferences like GrowthCon that have a single room. I said I'm giving away 15 of those people. 15 people in the 10X Stages community are going to be on GrowthCon, the biggest GrowthCon that's ever happened in 2023. Who's going to win those? Who's going to win those? I saw Brian McDonald getting kind of fired up. So GrowthCon is a single room. There's not breakout rooms. It's a single room. I see you, David Carnell. It's a single room. Then you've got conferences that have multiple rooms. These are all national or international. Conferences have multiple rooms, mean they have a main room, but they have lots of breakout rooms. Write this down. Breakout rooms can build your business. The right breakout rooms can build your business. Now, that's the difference between GrowthCon and maybe like a traffic and conversion. They have a main stage, but they also have 7 other stages. Then there's masterminds. Everybody knows masterminds. Like, why would you not want to be one of the speakers at a mastermind? Most masterminds, people have invested $25,000 to $100,000 to be in that room. And you get to go speak. If you're the financial planner, you don't think they're going to invest with you? If you're the health and wellness expert, like Gary Brecka was when he spoke at a $100,000 mastermind, you don't think 60 to 70% of that room is going to become customers? If you got real estate deals, you don't think those are your freaking best accredited investors? Masterminds are beautiful because people have invested a lot of money. And if they're your ideal customers, they've already bypassed the loop that they invest in themselves. Y'all getting this? Retreats. I just took a retreat. I just had a retreat this last week. It's like more of like a getaway, an experience, like an experience, like a retreat. And I'm going to show you the one speaker I brought on that stage and what happened in his movement from being on our stage this last week. I'm going to show that to you in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 20, 25 minutes. These are so experiential that if you can be one of the subject matter experts at a retreat, somebody else's, remember, these are other people's stages. I'm not talking about you investing money or time. I'm talking about you getting on other people's physical stages. There's a lot of people that will do like VIP experiences. Grant just did a VIP experience a few weeks ago. 80, I know some of the copy said 180. It was actually 80 powerful people, and he just did a 2-day experience. And there were some outside speakers, and those outside speakers gained a lot of business from that experience. There's dinner events. Like there's a lot of people that do different types of dinner events that are asking for subject matter experts to be there. And then there's like intensives. Intensives are like drilling into one area. We do intensives all of the time. These are usually paid customers and they're learning what to do. A workshop is they're actually doing it. They're getting it done. So this is a higher end customer. This is a lower end customer, like in investment wise. Now, what I want you to do right now, 1 to 3 of those resonated with your heart. I don't need you to be on all 12 of those. I need you to make 11 of those. I need you to make a decision of the 1 to 3 that you are most focused on. Because I'm telling you, I'm letting you know the stages that exist. And these stages are going to be at their biggest in the next few years. Biggest in the next few years. Commit to your 1 to 3. because the power of these stages in 60 minutes, it takes a 6 to 12 month sales cycle and knocks it down to 60 minutes. 60 minutes. Now, the flip side, there's also digital stages. There's also digital stages. My wife loves digital stages. Introverts love digital stages. People who want to leave their home love digital stages. There's being on other people's social media lives is one of my favorites. Meaning when I go live with Stormy Wellington and she's got 2,000 people watching live, or I go live in Lance's Facebook group and his Facebook group has thousands of people watching live, or I go live on LinkedIn with somebody. They built the following, they built the audience, and they allow me and you to go live with them and give a free gift away. So all of these people come into your world. There's challenges like this. This is a challenge, a few days. It's a powerful online stage, and you should be on other people's challenges. There's webinars. I'm doing a webinar on Saturday, and I have another speaker speaking on that webinar on Saturday. That person's on my stage. You should be on other people's webinars. Associations do trainings all the time, and their people show up for the training because they're paid members. Why aren't you doing digital association trainings? Podcasts. Grant said he's made $100 million on other people's podcasts. Did you hear that? By being on other people's podcasts. My wife's like, I love podcasts. I don't even have to get ready for a podcast because it's all audio. I'm like, oh, babe, okay, cool. That's cool. Podcasts are powerful. Online summits are more like speakers all day long, nonstop for multiple days. What we're doing on Monday with the meeting planners is more of like an online summit. It's more speakers over the course of several hours, several days. There's other people's YouTube channels. Don't underestimate other people's YouTube channels. It's the second largest search engine on the internet. And unlike social media, your videos on another person's YouTube channel does not go away. Who is a friend of mine, review on his YouTube channel, it still lives there. It still gets hundreds of views every day. Did you get that? Meaning I don't have to go read that just because I'm on the channel. And in the search engine of YouTube, now by being on his channel, I'm getting 20 new views or hundreds of new views every day. Why aren't you on other people's YouTube channels? Online media, Forbes, and all of these online media. They don't get you as much as ROI as they get you social proof. Social proof. Guys, they say my audio's a little glitchy, guys. Sorry about that. You got to fix that and make sure whatever is happening with that. Social proof. I'll stop moving. It's because I move. Can you hear me better right now? Yeah, I'll stop doing all my dancing. Here's one that most people overlook: courses and membership sites. Who lives on the back end of courses and membership sites? Who lives on the back end of courses and membership sites? I want to see who answers this. No. Product owners, customers. I'm in the back end of one of Grant's courses, one of Dean and Tony's courses. So that means I'm the subject matter expert on my topic. So who logs into those courses? Customers. You don't even have to travel the physical masterminds. Why not go to virtual masterminds and be a part of virtual masterminds? High ticket customers. There's this thing called interactive events right now. Interactive events are that these are paid customers. And there's people in a room paid, and there's people online paid. GrowthCon is an interactive event. Interactive event, I stand corrected, is just paid virtual attendees. So you don't have to travel anywhere. Why do I like this over summits? Summits are free. Interactive events are paid. They're paid customers. Then you've got the hybrid event that is both in person and virtual at the same time. You're killing two birds with one stone. One of my favorite ones on here, because I can do this from my home or I can do this from the event. And then the last one, and I know Grant's a fan of this one, is Clubhouse. Grant's still in Clubhouse quite a bit. Still in Clubhouse quite a bit. So the second no is not just knowing the stages. Remember, I got two more no's for you, and the last two are the biggest two. The second no is not just knowing the stages, but which 1 to 3 of these are you going to focus on? OPSs. I'm not talking about your own stages. Which 1 to 3 of these? I'm going to leave this up here for a minute. Which 1 to 3 are you going to focus on? Guys, bring this up on their screen for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Radio show is media, podcast, social media lives and podcasts, social media and other people's courses. Yeah, I love this, guys. Thank you we're building. Every day builds upon the next day. YouTube, podcasts, virtual masterminds, webinars, podcasts, summits, industry association stages, conference stages, and podcasts. Let's get clear, because watch this. Come back to me. Here's the power. You can be on as many digital stages as your heart desires. Do you realize I'm in my home right now? My little girl's playground is right out this window right here. I can hear my 3-year-old out here playing. I can hear feet running around upstairs, and I don't even care anymore. I don't even say, hey, shut up, kids. I don't say that stuff. Like, I just let them run. Here's why. Not only are physical events about to be record-breaking in 2022 through 2024, digital events have never been more acceptable in the history of our world. They're actually normal now, which means you got a double win and you can be on as many. Pat Flynn said anytime anybody's on his podcast, they call it the Pat Flynn effect because their businesses grow. He has 150,000 people that listen to his podcast every week. You get on his podcast, your business will grow. Stream Lance said that anybody who's ever had a brand new book that's gotten on his live stream, on his Facebook social media live, seller. Believe that because I sold a $3,000 course, a retail value $1,000 course. I was on his live stream and he had like 175 people buy that course. 170. Pastor Lane, I think that's maybe where I met you. Did I meet you through Lance? I don't know if I met you through Lance or not, but 175 people bought that course. So my second no to you, and then I'm going to get to the numbers, is I need you to know the types of stages and which ones you're going after in the physical and in the digital. Pedro, cool. The third no. We got 2 more. These last 2 are going to be pretty quick. Today, I'm going to go about 70 minutes, 75 minutes. It will be the longest day of everyone. The longest day. Black card, you have more time with me, which is awesome. But it'll be the longest day. The third no is I need you to make a decision of how many stages you're going after digitally and physically in the next year. In the next year. How many do you want to be on digitally? And how many do you want to be on physically? This is the third no. I need to know this because we're going to help you start winning them this week. My rhythm is I'm on 1 digital stage a week. OPSs, these are OPSs, and 1 physical stage a month. Dr. Greg says 35 digital and 15 in person. It's beautiful, Dr. Greg. Mark Reese says 10 digital and 2 physical by November 1. I love that, Mark. You can make it by a timeline or you can make it over the next year. Whatever's easy. But right now, I am asking every single person that's hearing my voice to make a commitment. Candace Holyfield, I haven't seen your commitment. Denise Reed, I haven't seen. Oh, maybe I have. Okay. I want to see every person's commitment. My wife, she's like, Pete, a digital for me every couple of weeks is all I need. But that's mine. How many stages are you committed to being on? That's the third no I need you to know. 2 virtual a week. Chandra Lee, I love that. Facebook, what does that look like for you? YouTube, what does that look like for you? What is that for you? What is that for you? I'll go see what my Facebook peeps are saying. See what my Facebook peeps are saying. Facebook, I see you. There's my uncle. I see my uncle on there. Facebook, what is that for you? Facebook, don't be passive. Tell us. Don't be passive. Tell us. Everybody backstage, everybody with the black card is telling us, make a flipping commitment. Because I'm committing to the helping you. Make a commitment. And then the fourth no. The fourth no. Michael Glaspie, I want you to get this one, bro. I can already tell you rock stages. The fourth no is, what is the value of a stage worth to you? Now you're like, Pete, I don't know what you mean by that. And don't worry, because if you can see how many customers your stages are going to bring in, you are going to be so committed to stages. There is a term that I use called stage value indicator. And basically what I track is, what's the value of my physical stage worth? Right away, I do this immediately. I'm going to spell this wrong, but I don't care. What is it worth immediately? What is it worth over the next year? And what is it worth over the lifetime value? Because if you can start seeing what your stages are worth, you can reverse engineer your entire year. Your entire year. And it's really easy. Look at this. This is from one of my first years in business. I took the actual events away, so not all of you, and put this on their screen, so not all of you would go copy this and be like, ooh, I'm targeting those events. But you can see how many sales and how much value my average SVI was. What was my immediate SVI of the 14 stages that I was on? What was my immediate? Not for the year. What was my immediate? Can you see those numbers? Do you see down below 100 stage value indicator? The value of what my stage is, Luis. I just trained on that. I just trained on it. SVI. It's $125,917.38. That's the number value that my SVI is. Now, check this out. You can see on the far right-hand column, what was it over the course of the next year? It was $172,000. Come back, guys. $172,000. That was the value on average of my 14 stages. I think this was in 2018, early on in getting started in business. Pete, how do you determine that value? Well, some places when you're on a stage and put this up on their screen are going to let you collect leads. So Shackley allowed me to collect leads, and I got 931 leads. It turned into so many sales, and it turned into so much revenues. I was on another stage that just allowed me to offer my product. And these are all digital. Look at the top, the power of digital stages. I was on another one, and I did 139 sales and $242,000. I was on another one that I collected leads, 6,200 leads. 352 sales came after the fact in follow-up, and $408,000. Yeah, Brian, you're catching this. I hope you guys are catching this. Well, what if I want to go be on physical stages? Here's some physical stages I was on. Small, a medium, and a large one. I was on a stage, 46 customers. That top one was a breakout room. A breakout room. The middle one was a breakout room. The bottom one was a single conference room. But look at the customers and look at the revenues. Now, what if you want to go dominate one industry? One industry. Go look at this. We wanted to dominate the financial advisor industry. The financial advisor industry. So I went and got on 3 financial advisor stages in 1 year. Is there an industry that you would love to dominate? Like, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. If there's an industry you want to dominate, go be on OPSs. Hey, David Carnell, you see how many sales came from that bottom one in 2018? It's a pretty big number from one OPS, isn't it? $953,000 in revenues. Do you know what the lifetime value of that stage has been to us? Multiple millions. But that weekend, it was worth $950,000. You want to go ministers, pet owners, homeschoolers, CPAs, lawyers, photography, interior design? Come back. OPSs will do it. So the fourth number, or the fourth no that I need you to have, and I'm rounding this up, and I'm going to make it really crystal clear. Remember, I've got a 1-minute video that I cannot wait to show you. A 1-minute video. Man, this video is going to make you cry. Made me cry. But what is your SVI? If you have been tracking that, I'm going to help you with your SVI. How many believe, don't say yes if you don't think I can help you. How many believe that I can help you get on a small stage of 75 people this week? That you can win one small stage of 75 people? If you believe that, say yes. If you have a question mark around that, put a question mark. If you don't think so, say no. 1. The 1-minute video was a person who was actually on a stage of 65 to 75 people this last week. And I want you to see what that did for his mission. And you guys are going to know who this person is here in 10 minutes. I'm going to go through this. Now, what's going to happen is you're probably going to collect close to 50 people's information, because you're going to give them a free gift and they're going to give you their contact information, and you're going to have 8 of them become customers. A stage of 75 people on average. It's not the same for everybody. For some, it's 4. For some, it's 12. For me, it'd be 15. But on a stage of 75, you're probably going to have 8 new customers. So your SVI all week long is whatever 8 new customers is worth to you. Can I ask you a question? Right here, guys, close in. I'm going to ask everybody on Facebook, YouTube, our private groups, our black card holders, what are 8 new customers worth to you? Wow, Brian McDonald said 1.6 million. Well, Brian, maybe I just get you 2 and you get 400,000. Let's say you didn't do good and you only got 400,000. Ross said 240,000. Nako said 160. Craig Ellsworth, that would be 16,000. Gary said 60,000. Patricia said 40,000. Brian said 800 a month. Ivana said life-changing. Somebody else said 19,200. Andrew Blackwood said, I'm asking every person, Black Card, Facebook, and YouTube to make a commitment to this. Every person make a commitment to this. Make a commitment to this. Like, I want to know what that number is. I'm coming over here on Facebook to actually watch this right now. I want to see what their numbers are. I want to see what your numbers are, Facebook. See what your numbers are. What are your numbers? YouTube, 16,000. Yeah, what are your numbers? My price is too low, so we've got to work on your product suite. $1 million a year, 80,000. So today, tomorrow we go find the stages. Like, you're going to find stages tomorrow. You're going to do work tomorrow. Thursday, you're going to win stages. But today, I've asked you for 4 things. Know who controls the stage. Know the types of offline, digital, and physical stages you want to go after. Know how many of them that you're committed to winning. And know your SVI. You guys, you want to know my SVI? My SVI is close to $500,000. It's somewhere in between $350,000 and $500,000. Do you think I can reverse engineer a year based on knowing that? You think I can reverse engineer a year based on knowing that? Do I have to go run a lot of ads? Do I have to go do a lot of stuff? No, I just got to go be on more stages. Pamela, you want to generate $40,000 or $40,000, Pamela Pierce? Go get on 4 or 5 stages. And they can be digital and they can be physical. And the reason why Grant Cardone is so excited about this is because stages made him who he is. 7 minutes, I'm going to show you this video. But I need to tell you a story. In March of this year, Grant Cardone bought, after licensing my content for 3 years, bought 50% of 10X Stages, and we became partners. He said, Pete, 10X Stages will be a $100 million company because every business owner, every speaker, every consultant, and every coach needs 10X Stages. I want you to watch. This isn't the video I'm talking about, but I want you to watch in Grant's own words. Guys, let's play this. I just did. No playing?
You cannot show me a route to success that does not involve stages. There is none. You cannot give me one person on planet Earth that has ever made it, become known, improve the quality of planet Earth without having a stage. And every one of those people, pick a name, any name you want. Oprah, she had to leave her community. She had to step into another community. She had to take risks. She had to learn things. She had to meet new people. She had to work out her pitch and her story. And then it's up to her whether she scales to the whole world. Had she not stepped out, we wouldn't know Oprah. If Jesus wouldn't have left home, we wouldn't know Jesus.
Pete is going to show you the fast way. He is going to give you his blueprint. He is going to give you the shortcut. He's going to show you how to manufacture instant confidence, and he will show you how to get an audience. Bottom line is, if I would have had what Pete is going to give you right now, the 10X Stages system, more than just money, I would have gotten back years of my life. Had I known this at 29 years old, I would have made hundreds of millions. Listen to what I'm about to tell you here. I would have made hundreds of millions of dollars in my 30s. Had I known it when I was 50, I would have made billions. And it would have allowed me, more importantly, to spend more time with my family and improve the quality of my life. And rather than taking 30 years to become successful, I could have done it in a 10th of the time.
All right, you guys back on me? Awesome. Guys, listen, did you just hear that? 30 years. Like I want to save you other people's, I want to save your time. And I want you to have this is the greatest gift that we can give you. This week is all about stages. And yes, there's a little bit of signature talk that we're going to do on Thursday, but this is all about stages. And so I want to say this because we're about to do something that we've never done before, the fast track to stages. And anybody who's been a part of my Advance Your Reach community, this is something you haven't been a part of. The fast track to stages is our 10X Stages workshop. And I'm going to talk about this for 7 minutes and I'm going to be done. But this is the only thing that you can take action on this week if you want to expedite things. And yeah, I'm talking about it on day one because I believe everybody watching on day one needs this. I know what it's going to do for you because thousands of people have gone through the shortcut in a 2-day workshop that gets things honed in. We've had thousands go through this workshop and they're happening multiple times a year. And so what do? On day one, we get your talk designed so that that becomes the greatest marketing tool that you have. And as long as you have a great talk, you will always be able to be on great stages. That's what we get done in day one. And in day two, we build out your campaign with you to put you on stages. That's the 10X Stages workshop. Done and done. And I'm proud to say that not only we have one coming up in October, we just did one last week. We have one coming up in October. We have one coming up in November. You can join live in person or you can join virtually. Thousands of people have been through this. Many of them have paid over $10,000 for this workshop. And we want to be able to give that to you today as our gift. Now, we want to throw in a few bonuses. I'm going to go through the bonuses and I'm done because I want to make this a no-brainer thing. The first thing we're going to do is actually the first week in September. I believe it's September 8th. We're re-recording the 10X Stages course, and we're actually going to do it live with any of you that take advantage of the workshop offer. We're recording it live. We're going to take you behind the scenes of recording a course live so you too can record your course and see how to do that. And then you will get lifetime access to that course. So you're not just going to be there live in September with us, go behind the scenes of this at the 10X headquarters. You'll be there virtually with us as I'm recording this. You'll then get access, lifetime access, so you or anybody on your team can go through this course. So we get you ready in September with this curriculum, and then we do the workshop in either October or November. You get access to this course. It's a $3,000 value. You also get a one-on-one call where we are going to help you find your dream stages. Most people don't get one-on-one access. You're going to get one-on-one call with my team that's going to map out your strategy to hit the numbers that you want to hit and go after the right stages. You get this one-on-one stage strategy design session to help you hit the numbers that you want to hit. That's a $1,000 value that people have purchased. Why is that important? Because most programs don't give you anything one-on-one. Now, I recorded this 2 years ago, and you cannot find it anywhere online. Grant and I pulled back the curtain. We went behind the scenes. I am the only one who has access to how Grant Cardone used stages to build his empire. Why is that important? Because he takes you back to when he was starting and how he overcame the challenges he faced to become the brand that he is today. This is golden. This is golden. It's the third bonus we want to give you. And then the fourth and final one, and quite frankly, this might be the greatest one that we give to you. And then I'm going to play that minute video here in just a second. We are about to do the Great American Speak Off in multiple cities, East Coast and West Coast, this fall. Grant says this might be the TV show that is the greatest TV show that he's ever produced. I was having dinner with Damon John a few weeks ago, and he's like, Pete, what an incredible concept. Having people share their stories, like the opportunity that exists. We're going East Coast to West Coast, multiple cities this fall, and we're doing one virtual audition of it too. So 5 in person, 4 to 5 in person, 1 virtually, and anybody that's in the 10X Stages workshop doesn't just get a guaranteed audition, they get VIP access to those days. A VIP access. You bypass the thousands of people that are going to be there trying to audition, and you go to the front of the line. And oh, by the way, we've helped you craft your talk. What do you think the chances of you winning and succeeding are? And out of the Great American Speak Off comes our 15 people who will have the opportunity to be in Las Vegas at next year's GrowthCon. Here's it. Here's everything, guys, before I show you this 1-minute video that I believe will help you understand the power of stages. You get this. We sold this workshop the first year when I was in partnership with Grant, and he was licensing this from me. We sold it for $10,800. A guy that you're going to hear from today, $10,800. That's what they paid. We've since begun to sell it for $5,800, $5,900. You get the digital course. You get the one-on-one strategy call. You get the behind the scenes of how Grant built his empire using stages. And you get the guaranteed audition at the Great American Speak Off. $17,000 worth of value, guys. $17,000 worth of value. And you've got the chance to do a 1-pay or a 3-pay. A 1-pay or a 3-pay. And because times are unprecedented, like they've never been before, we're in the midst of a recession. People need you on stages more than they've ever needed. And I'm not just going to tell you, I'm going to show you. I could show you over 1,000 people who have spent $6,000 on this workshop and only this workshop. I could go on and on and on. We got rid of their email addresses and their contacts. These are actually the payments of people who have invested in this. I asked my team to pull hundreds of them because we could show you hundreds of them. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm telling you, you will not see this, what I'm about to do again. What we're going to do is we're going to allow for the first time ever for a 1-pay of $29.97 or a 3-pay of $10.99 to get all of that stuff that I just shared with you. You guys should be getting excited about that. Like, Dr. Greg, you paid $10,000 for that. Let them know that. Like, this is what we're going to at 10X Stages workshop only for 100 people. That's it. We just did this in a promotion at the beginning of the month. Those 100 spots went in like less than a day. Like, they were so fast because we want to reward action takers. You saw that this sells day in and day out for $6,000. You're getting it for over half off, plus all of those bonuses, for a 1-pay of $2,900 and some change, or a 3-pay of $10.99. And that will only be for the first 100. It will go back to its regular pricing after that. So guys, this is what I want to say. Here's everything you're getting. If you go to 10xstagesworkshop.com, I can't wait to honor people who are taking that action. Facebook, YouTube, online. Like, I cannot wait for you to take that action. Like, I'm throwing this out day one. There will not be another offer that's made throughout the course of this week. You will continue to get value. Tomorrow is all about finding stages. Thursday's all about winning stages. And Saturday's all about bringing it all together and celebrating. And Monday, me introducing you to meeting planners who are going to give you stages away. But I'm introducing this to you because I want to see those 100 people who are ready to take action and invest in themselves in a powerful and profound way. So it's something that we've never done. 10xstagesworkshop.com. And one of the things that we're going to give to those today who take action today, this is called the fast acting bonus. Always write this note down. Write this note down, everybody. Always have a fast acting bonus when you're speaking at an event. You could also call it a conference only bonus, a conference only special. Because guess what? When you speak, Mark Reese, people get lazy, they go home and they forget about you. But if you give them a bonus that's out of this world that has them take action, or a price that is a conference pricing only bonus, they take action. And I hope you can see, teach while you're making your offer too. I'm teaching you something right now. So this is the behind the scenes, step by step, how we crafted our talk, how we won Grant Stage, and how we created the offer back in 2019. This was a $10,000 mastermind that I hosted on site at GrowthCon, and I took them behind the scenes of how I won the stage, how I crafted my talk, and how I crafted my offer. $10,000 mastermind, you get access to all of the digital recording of that if you're taking action today. So the price is for the first 100. It's for the first 100, whether that's today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, but this is a day one bonus only, and it's a couple of $1,000. So now I want to encourage you to go to 10xstagesworkshop.com. I can't wait to call out and recognize those people who are investing in themselves and taking that action. But this is what I want to end with. You see, a lot of people, and I'll be done with this, a lot of people know that at GrowthCon that year, I was the only person that nobody knew on that stage. I was the best kept secret. It's time for you to stop being the best kept secret. And that day, on that big stage, 1,000 new customers came into my world. 1,000. Grant was like, Pete, what did you do? Like, our lines are backed up. People can't believe this, because that was the validation to him. And that was a course, and only a course. And it was $2,000 for a course. But the thing that was more profound to me was the fact that I got to talk about the amazing dad that my dad is to me today. And that wouldn't have been possible if he didn't hear a person's message on a stage. They brought my dad up on the big screen, and he was in tears, and he was crying. And he was blown away. That next day at the airport, my dad said, Pete, I've never taken a selfie in my life. Everybody was asking him for selfies at the airport because they were so moved and inspired by our story. And my dad was in tears, and he told me how proud of me he was for taking a tough situation in a relationship with him and all of a sudden letting it serve the world. And none of this would have been possible without a stage. But you might be saying to yourself, Pete, I can't be on a 1,000-person stage. But can you be on a 75-person stage? You just told me your SVI. Most of your SVIs, meaning one stage, will pay for this program over and over and over again, just with one stage. Well, this last week, I had a stage. I had a stage that was about 70 or 75 people total. And I brought in one speaker. And I paid that speaker. And you guys will know who that speaker was because his name is Tim Tebow. And Tim Tebow came to speak and serve my audience with his message. He didn't talk about his nonprofit that is helping the fight against sex trafficking in our world. It's one of the biggest fights that we've faced. It seems incomprehensible to tackle. He didn't talk about his nonprofit that's fighting this fight against sex trafficking. He talked to us about running a race and enduring and being powerful in the life that we share, in the life that we live, and not finishing this race well rested and being like, oh, I feel so good when we're done with this race, but running it to the fullest and enduring till the end and fighting for the less fortunate or those who need our help or those whose problems we're solving. That's what he spoke about. He didn't speak about his nonprofit. But there was somebody in the room that asked about it. And so we made a decision with one small room of, there were 50 members in the room, 75 total people. So it was a mastermind. Remember I told you the power of a mastermind for you? This was a mastermind. This was my mastermind. 50 members in this room. One stage. One talk. And I want you to see the outcome. We gathered what everybody said they would donate, what the 50 people said they would donate to his foundation. And I want you to see the result of what one stage did a few days ago.
Total as of right now is 1.7 we got video. I got to hear what Mr. Tebow has to say.
I don't think it's appropriate for me to share too much. I think what would be appropriate is for one day a lot of lives to say thank you. That's more important than anything I can say, is thank you that I'm not worth it. Thank you that they're worth it. Yeah. If they were worth Jesus dying for, they're definitely worth us fighting for.
Yes. Come on.
Guys, one stage. My wife and I cried in that room, one stage. We brought him in as a speaker, just like I want people to bring you in as speakers. And that day, not even knowing it, like a last minute, it wasn't planned. 50 people raised $1.7 million for his movement against sex trafficking. Whether you have a movement that's a nonprofit or a movement that's a business, you fall into one of those categories. And what I'm here to tell you is OPSs and stages will change the game for you if you will commit to them. If you will commit to them. And so before we go back to our black card backstage, I want to encourage you, go to 10xstagesworkshop.com and take advantage of this. This is only for 100 folks. And our fast acting goes away tomorrow. I promised you knowing stages. Did I deliver on the knowing stages today? Did I deliver on the knowing stages today? Tomorrow, we're going to tackle the finding stages. And the following day, we're going to tackle the winning stages. So we're just getting started. But before I go backstage, hey, Dr. Greg, I just want you really quickly in about a minute to a minute and a half. This is a 10X Stages workshop alumni. I want you to talk about the impact that this program has had on you And then I'll come back. I'm going to wrap it up here in about 90 seconds, everybody. Is Dr. Greg there? Jess, team?
Hey, Pete, it looks like you may have stepped away for just a minute.
Dr. Greg, making some jokes. Needed a quick bio break, I guess. Guys, I'm just going to make the decision to come back up on here on me. I'm going to make the decision to just wait till tomorrow. So I want to encourage you guys. Dr. Greg won like 45 plus stages in a matter of a few months after going through this workshop. He invested, I think he was one of the first customers that invested $10,800 to be in this workshop. And you guys got the chance to be a part of this. This workshop is what we are doubling down on because we are seeing the results of what it's creating for our students. So I want to encourage you to go to 10xstagesworkshop.com, 10xstagesworkshop.com. Tomorrow, we're going to go find stages so that we can set you up on Thursday to win stages. So we're going to show you the keys to learning how to find dream stages. Remember, we've got a one pay of $29.97 and a three pay of $10.99, 10xstagesworkshop.com, Facebook, YouTube. I cannot wait for day 2. I'm so excited for day 2. And for all of our Black Card VIP experiences, we're going backstage right now for that Black Card VIP experience. We'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time. I hope to see you as one of the first 100 in this to take advantage of it. We'll talk to you soon. Guys, we're staying backstage.